Hello and welcome to Affinity. The curves adjustment tool is immensely powerful and it can be used instead of replacing quite a few of the other tools. So let's see how many of those we can replace. So let's start off here and let's bring up curves, but we could go from here to curves, but we're going to use the shortcut for curves, which is Control M, and it appears elsewhere on my screen, so I have to drag it up. So here it is. Right, so the first tool is exposure, and to do that we want to shift this line up and down. So we just drag either end up and down. So there you go, that's increased exposure, shifting the histogram up that way, and this way is pulling it back the other way, is darkening, decreasing it and pushing it down that way. So let's reset that. So that's one. The second one we want to do is the levels tool. Levels is where you're going to bring in the edges, and this picture desperately needs it because it looks rather flat, and that's because it's not much in the way of blackies down here or the highlights here. So you want to bring these things in, but there's a trick you have to watch out for here, because if you bring this all the way in, see the histogram here is beginning to fall off the edge there, and it's because this bit here, if I bring that back again, the bit you see here is just the white bit in the middle. So what we want to do is use the histogram at the top right up here to decide where to stop, and in fact that looks about enough, even though there's a gap there. And we're going to bring this one in here in the same way until that top histogram reaches the edge. Now we've got a much nicer picture here. So that's level. Let's do contrast. Contrast we use all the time, and that's by you bring this up here and this down here, making a letter S, and you've now got a more contrasty picture. You increase the contrast. To decrease contrast, go the other way, this way and that way. Brightness is very similar to contrast, and to increase brightness you're going to drag back this way, and to decrease brightness, make things darker, drag the left hand one across. Right, what else? Threshold. Let's do threshold. Threshold is kind of similar in a way to levels, but it makes some things black and some things white. To do that, we go to the RGB down here, click on this, and go to grey. And now, the moment we move the line, it's going to go into black and white. Watch this. Bing, there you go, black and white. And I pull one up to the top, and the other one right down to the bottom. And there we go, that's what it'll do. It makes it into black and white, where everything to the left of the line is black and everything to the right of the line is white. So if you move this up a bit, for example, oops, we do not too many, there we go, then everything to the left again is black, everything to the right is white. So that's the threshold tool. So what else can we do? Generally black and white you can do. So as we saw with the grey tool here, the moment you move it, you've got black and white, which you can make darker here. You can't do quite the things you can do in the black and white tool in change individual colours, but you can do an awful lot in adjusting the contrast by shaping the tool. So let's go back to RGB, which in itself does a reset. And the last one we'll do is we will do the colour balance. Let's have a look at that one, which is here, color balance. What color balance lets you do is from the midtones, the highlights or the shadows here, stick with the midtones, you can go more cyan, more red, and similarly with magenta and green and yellow and blue. So if we do that here, let's get rid of that. Delete that layer, go to the curves again, bring that one up, here we go, and if we then with RGB at the master go down to red, And I'm just going to put points at the quadrant points there. So what that means is when I pull the middle one up, it gets more red. And if I pull the middle one down, it gets more cyan, but only in the midtones. Pull the other one up, bottom one here, down here, you got the shadow control. And here we got the highlight control. And you can do the same with here, changing down to as well. So there we go. We have in just about 5 minutes covered, I think that's about half a dozen tools, and all through the use of curves. Thank you very much for watching.